Hey everybody, Marla Saris from Paleo Porn here, and we've been super busy doing stuff this week, but I wanted to stop, pause, and tell you what you may have missed this week in Paleo Porn. Let's get to it! So we had the Fed Up movie night at our house, and we had a lot of people, and it was a super awesome movie, and I want to tell you so much more about it, but I'm gonna wait and do that next week. In terms of food, this week you missed Chicken Vesuvio. This is like a chicken recipe, duh, okay? It's something that you'll find regularly in Chicago or around the Chicagoland area. And I remember growing up, we would have it at parties all the time. It would be the thing that was catered, or my mom would make it. But yeah, I decided to make Chicken Vesuvio, and I also made it for Jill Morris from Jill's Gluten Free when we were out in Ventura a few weeks back, and they loved it. So I got some good feedback, and since they enjoyed it, I was ready to post it on the site. So now you can make it too. This week we've also got turmeric pickled eggs, which is the first time I've pickled anything actually, and it was super easy and fun because the eggs, they get golden colored thanks to the turmeric, and so when you slice into it for however long you let them sit in the pickling liquid, you'll have a golden ring around the eggs, but the longer you let it sit, the longer it soaks in, so it gets even more golden until it gets to the yolk. But I only let it sit for a little bit, and I really enjoyed them. They're a good snack. You can add them on the top of your salads, and they last for, you know, a bit because they're hard-boiled eggs and with a little kick thanks to the turmeric and the jalapeno peppers. But they're not spicy, so you don't need to leave them out if you're not a spicy kind of eating person. Anyways, the third recipe we've got on Paleo Porn this week is Jill's gluten-free paleo bread. And this is made using flaxseed meal. And we've got two different kinds of flaxseed meal. There is regular flaxseed meal and there's golden flaxseed meal. So you can make either, use either one. And I would definitely choose the organic flaxseed meal, whether you go with regular or golden. And the result is the difference in the color of the bread. So when you use the regular flaxseed bread, you get a darker shade of bread, and it's got a green tint to it, so maybe good for Shamrock Day. What is it? St. Patrick's Day. Maybe a good recipe to make for St. Patrick's Day. But it's really good, and you can leave it in the fridge, and it lasts for a week or two at times, and you can freeze it. The golden flaxseed meal gives you a lighter shade of bread, and yeah, both varieties. The golden also has a lighter taste as opposed to the regular. So you've got a couple varieties, and yeah, you can have paleo bread, and it's tasty. And one more recipe that I made this week that I wanted to tell you about is crock-pot pork sirloin. No, hold on one second. It's crock-pot lemon pork sirloin. So I got my pork sirloin roast from U.S. Wellness Meats, so I know that it was pasture raised and from a great place and raised properly. And so you should check that out. It is a crock-pot recipe, and I actually let it sit longer than I said on the site because I started it early in the day and then I went to sleep, so it kind of was in the crock-pot for 14 hours. But it was totally fine because when you use the pan juices, it brought it back to life after you served it. I mean, it didn't die. I mean, it's already dead, but it wasn't super dry is what I want to tell you after 14 hours. So you can let it go for I wouldn't let it go longer than 14 hours. But yeah, do like 10 to 12 in the crock pot, and you've got a nice juicy pork sirloin that you can serve. And I used my fresh rosemary from my garden, which is dwindling down because when we left, nobody watered it. There was no one here to water it. So yeah, that's all I've got for you in terms of recipes this week. Next week, I'm going to talk to you all about the stuff that's been going on in the last 2 weeks in terms of Fed Up the movie, and I had a doctor's appointment, and all the fun that surrounded me going to see the doctor. So, I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I will talk to you next week.